Oh, right. It is Proxy Time live. We'll see how this goes because I got my computer screen over here of what I'm editing, and then the chat is over here. So we'll see if I can kind of keep an eye on that as we're going here. So doing Cyclonic Rift today with this, but I've done Cyclonic Rift. Is this the second time? No, this first time doing Proxy Time with it, but I've made this one. This will be the third time, but like we talked about, hey, Mr. Number 2, no more counter spells. But yeah, so gonna do some storm action here. So we're gonna use, I think I'm gonna do 2 different arts here. So actually, this is the background I wanted to use because it's the most like not all the counter spells. Number 2, I should give you a little. Hey, number 2, let's see if I can get my buttons because I can use buttons here.
Hey, number 2.
Hey, number
hey,
2.
Number 2.
So yeah, I wanted to get something that's very similar to this or this. So, and you kind of get that same feel of the buildings being destroyed on the bottom there. And that's kind of what's happening with this Cyclonic Rift. So I'm going to use the same thing here. So then the 2 arts I kind of decided on there is this one, that Jaw kind of brought my attention to, from the Discord. This one, I think what I'm going to do is use her kind of in the more of her essence in the background here, just kind of a presence there. And then I have the old school cartoon Storm that I kind of want to fit in there. The only problem is I don't know how it's going to look because you got this detailed background and then you get over and this is like a comic book of Storm. So I don't know how it's going to look. But this one, I'll probably do a similar thing, but make it seem like she's actually part of the picture instead of in the background. So let's get started. We need to first actually got to build the background first. So this is going to be a little longer than a normal video because I'm going to have to build the background twice. Actually, I should make 2 of these. Let me pull that up quick. Let's see here. Not that. There we go. We need a second one of that. Oh, you know what? Because I got to save it as a different name. How do I want to do that? Should have done this beforehand. Well, let's start with the first storm and then I can work on it after that because then I'll get it saved and then I can pull up the second background. So let's highlight the whole thing here. Get this storm here. So what I'm going to do is kind of bring over the entire image to the other one, making sure everything there is good. So this is a 2-step process because I got to build the background first, kind of like I did with Wandering Archaic. So my thought with her, let me bring down the opacity down here, is kind of having her like this. And then I'm going to shade in all of this, blend it in with the background. So she's just kind of mainly the focus of here, but kind of having that looming figure in the background, like she's almost controlling the storm. So I think that's kind of how I want to have it go there. And then I'm going to have all this come to the foreground of the original picture there. So I think that's where I want it. Now I'm going to start zooming in here. I know for sure I want this stuff to come through. So we're going to go to the background, stamp that out, and bring all of this. We got to jump back to her, to the foreground. Thanks, buddy. This is weird doing I wasn't sure how I would do the proxy time with live stuff, but I figure this is an easy way to do this. I can get it all out there. And it is kind of a live thing. I can get feedback on people and ideas and stuff like that as well. All right, so getting rid of, so you're getting that, all this stuff. I actually might make this so I can see a little bit more through here. I want to see even more. What do we got? Okay, got this big building there. So we want this to come through. So we're bringing everything from the original photo underneath, our original image, which is funny, actually. Oh no, I kind of laid this out to make sure that it all worked. So I know this bottom stuff is going to stay in. What's going to end up happening when I get the card in there, the top part of this is going to be cut off for the card to make it all fit. You'll see when we get there, but that's I kind of laid it out to make sure this worked. Because my worry was, if you zoom out, this seems like a really skinny image, but once I fit the outline of the card, it fits in pretty well with getting most of this image in. So, all right, back to down here. Let me bring this up so I see what we need to still edit. Okay. So that's fine being there, but we still need to get that building there. So we're really going to zoom in tool quite a bit. There we go. It's funny because I got to keep an eye. I keep switching back. I can kind of see out of my periffs if anybody says anything. So this is a little bit more difficult doing it that way, but I just got to get used to it, that doing the proxy time with that. All right, so outlining everything here, getting this building. So this comes to the foreground. Right there. Got to decide where I want this building to stop. I think right there looks good. I jumped out a little too much there. And there we go. Okay. I think that's good there. Let's bring it back up. Up. That. Now we color in. Oh, yeah. That'll look kind of cool with this there. And like I said, it's going to be really faded in. It's not going to be so too much of her. Like, I think it's going to be around that for how much she's showing through. Okay, so then the next part, I want to get pretty much this highlighted. I'm trying to decide where to go. The hair is going to be super fun. So actually, I think what I'm going to do to make this a little easier on myself, so we're going to get a fade tool. We're going to bring this down a little bit, bring that up. And we know, actually, I know I want this almost at 100%. We don't want this line here, because we want these to blend together. So we got rid of the line. Now I'll bring it back down to here so I can do some fun edits with this. So I'm going to get the main areas blending in. So this is a way you can get around not having to do each hair that's coming through there. And I'm kind of going to bring all this into... So this is supposed to... My view of this is more of like she's kind of, you know, like the essence of casting this whole spell of this Cyclonic Rift. She's not actually there. And so it doesn't need to be so precise. And the other one, I'm going to do it more so that she's there, that she's actually present with it. Okay. So I think that's good. Let me zoom out. All right. Now I just want to get my levels right. See, now I can bring her back in. So that actually looks pretty sweet. I just don't know where I want her. Probably around that 60 range. Okay, I like how that turned out. Okay, so that's step one. We got the base down. I like how it seems like she's the one that's summoning this Cyclonic Rift, in a way, Cyclonic Rift Beast. So now I need to go and grab our actual image here. There's a lot I got to fill in there. The other weird part about this is live, and this is the first time I've done proxy time when the sun is up. I was going to do this last night, and then I got convinced into playing a league game, which turned into a slaughter fest on a Smith. So I was like, oh, that was fun. I'm so glad that I joined that. I just got targeted the entire time. It's like, I wish I would have done proxy time last night. But no, it was fine. But yeah, it was a weird doing this right in the morning. I'm like, okay. got my son on the this is an awesome parenting skills. I was like, all right, Zeke, I'm gonna be shooting Proxy Time, shooting a video. He doesn't know what Proxy Time is. Shooting a video. So here's your iPad, and here's some cereal, and here's some milk. I'm just gonna do it this way. I'll fix it once we get over to the other image. It's like, you just chill on your iPad and you come get me if you really need something. Otherwise, I'll be out in probably an hour. It's like, okay, daddy. It's like, sweet. All right. Now we get this. So this is where I was saying that part of this is going to get cut off because you can only go so wide with it. So I want more of the bottom image to be there. And then I kind of wanted this rift part of this thing to come through the text box. So this actually fits perfect of what I want to do here. So I got my sides good. Click OK. Is that where I want it? Let me just see through a little bit. Yeah, because I'm going to want that to come through. Is the bottom fine? I seem pretty centered there. So let's jump over to cropping this bad boy. All right. Down we go. And probably about there. Yeah, that works. Okay. Now, you know what I need to do? Because of this, I haven't actually done this. I've done this by accident before. We need to merge the layers. So now these layers become one. And the reason to do that, so this is actually a fun little tip for anybody else that wants to do proxies, is what if you're doing two layers like that, you need to, because now if I copy the back, I have to, if I didn't do that, I'd have to make sure which one I'm copying. Well, now I have the image as one whole image. So that's, you highlight both of them, merge them together, and that's how you get rid of that. So right away, let's do some fixing. Let's get rid of it. Oh, I got to do the stamp tool first. So let's stamp background. Boom there. Fix the text box. And boom. Oh, still over here like this. We need to bring that to 100%. And that should be good. All right. Okay. So that looks good. The cyclonic feel to it, I do want to keep this faded tool there and do kind of what we were doing with storm stuff here. And so we're going to kind of just paint across this. So I kind of want to go with what the Cyclonic Rift's little shards that are coming off. It's pieces that are coming. So that we're going to highlight there. We definitely want this head to come out. So that will just completely get rid of, actually. Go to 100% there. Because I know I want his head there. So I might do a little bit there. So we're going to drop this back down. Bring that through. Then it gets that feel of this is actually going through the text box stuff. Okay, so that's pretty sweet. How do we get Storm involved here? Do I just highlight? I think what more so I'll just have it stick through like that, and then we'll get this building pretty much completely coming through there. So I need to bring this to a sharpening tool. And let's get that a little bigger. Zoom in. It's actually going to go a little quicker than I was thinking. That background build was pretty easy. A lot easier than I was thinking it was going to be. I think because what I was thinking is I was going to have to go through and do each piece of her hair to really make it precise. But by fading it in, because that's what she's, like I said, she's not actually there. It made that a lot easier. All right, so we got the building coming through there. Straight line. That's where your coloring skills come in. That wasn't very good because I went outside the lines there. Both. I think there we go. Okay. It was like I could see I went outside the lines. You're over the line. All right. Top part. That's it. Then it's fitting the CommanderSmith logo. Maybe I have to get rid of the double masters symbol. That's just a preference thing. It's not something that I have to do. I just like to do that. Okay. Let's zoom out. Bring back where we're going to be. All right. That looks dope. I like it. I like it. The only other thing I would mess with maybe is right there. Let's get a little bit more zoomed in. It's just being nitpicky of things because this really doesn't make much of a difference, but maybe that little add helps in there. So we'll get this. And connect the two. What is that? I mean, it's like a... I just don't know where to end that. Oh. Actually. Do I bring all of that in there? Bring all of this in there. Might be kind of cool. I think I might do that because then you can see all these people down there. I think I'm going to do that. All right. Video just got longer. Here we go. So we're going to highlight first so I can trace, I should say, outline first, not highlight. So we're going to draw where my lines are going to go because then I can just fill in. That's the easiest way to do things. That building there. We're going to follow this up like so. What is this thing here? I think I'm just going to stick with the building. So we're going to get this piece. Everybody knows what Cyclonic Rift does, so I don't really have to worry too much about the text box stuff. I'm fine if you're fine with covering that stuff, because you should know what Cyclonic Rift is. All right, so that's that piece. I need to see where I've already gone. Okay. Whew, I just made it a lot more work. Do I want to do this? Because I might actually want to grab that part in. We're going to make this bigger. Let's just fill in quick. There we go. Yeah. Now I can see a little bit better of where I want to go because I think I needed that part over there. And I just want to view what it's going to look like at 48 to the whole card. Do I want to keep it like that? I'm going to mess with it. I'm just trying to decide if that's just too much getting into the foreground. I almost think it is. I almost think that I could just be subtle by having this here and we got Storm in there. So I'm going to back it up. Back it up. Control Z. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. We're fine. I did a little bit there. One more Control Z. There we go. Okay. We're back to original. So that last 5 minutes, complete waste. All right. So Storm, we see her coming through. Is there anything I want to do with her here? I could make it a little more by taking this. And making this come through a little bit. Gotta shrink this down so I can actually draw this out here. Just trying to see where we're stopping here. I'm tempted to just remove this whole last part here. I think that's what I might actually end up doing. Let me see how this looks here. And then if I go like this. Yeah, for sure. It's coming off of there. For sure. So let's tighten it or straighten this line out. There we go. Dope. All right. That brings a little bit more of her into the picture, into the foreground. CommanderSmith logo. Where are you gonna go? That I have no idea. Let's see. Oops. Okay. Where, oh, where can you go? When I did it on the last Cyclonic Rift, I know it's just going in the beast's mouth. It's an easy spot. I'll twist it a little bit. Since I'm doing another one, this I don't need to really think too hard where this needs to go. So we're gonna bring this way down. Even more. All right. That looks good. Sweet. All right. One down. Let me save this. Because then I can pull up another image. Let's just do it. Cyclonic Storm. All right. That is that. Now I can pull up that other one. It should pull up now. There we go. Okay. And we have it saved. Now, OG Storm. Doing the same thing. Making this background very easy. Oh, I can hear my dog barking. Let's see here. Oops. Wrong one. I need to copy this. Back to here. There we go. And this one, what I was going to do is more have her be in the... This one's going to be more tough. A little bit more difficult because I can't do the blending as much. I'm going to have to highlight this. I'm going to have to come around her hair. And make it so that she's like in the foreground. Like she's the one that's casting this. Well, the other one's like she's casting it there, but this one's supposed to be more like she's there. So the other way I can do this, and let me just check and see how that's gonna work. Where is my Storm? Where are you? There she is. Okay, so the other way we can try this, see how this works out, what gets highlighted here, because I could do it all here and just bring that over instead. So that actually might work out. It's the hair part that's going to be interesting. All right. So far, so good. This part I can mess with a little bit. Now let's get up to here. It might be enough. Yeah, there might be enough of a difference between the white hair and the background that this might work. So far, there's only a couple pieces that I'm going to have to fix later, but for the most part, this is working pretty good. No. Too much. All right. Let's get the rest. I'm going to check all these pieces here. Shoulder there needs to be fixed. All right, let me fix this down here. Let's just start working at the whole image. So I can get rid of stuff by deselecting like that. You're pressing Alt and doing that, and that gets rid of that. I do want this. Just get that little piece and deselect that. And I might keep that in. I'll mess with that later when I get to the actual bringing it over. Oops, not spacebar. What are you doing? Get out of there. Alt. There we go. Just want her hair to stay there. Okay, hair's good there. Hair's good there. Let's get that. That brings that in. This is going to be tough getting these little guys. Oh, we got to zoom in. All right. Got to connect these, otherwise it's just going to look like a floating piece of hair. Damn you, Scuba Steve. I guess I could keep that bolt going through there. That's fine. All right, that's fine there. Let's get this piece. All right, some of that stuff's going to have to get fixed when I bring it over. But it's going to be a lot easier doing it this way than doing it the other way. All right, this hair. Fucking hair. Oh, I shouldn't swear on the live stuff because then it's only the podcast stuff. I was looking into it. I just need to not. I got to hold back from the swearing on the live stuff because eventually I won't get monetized on this if I'm swearing on these. All right. Let's see here. YouTube highly frowns upon swearing. Whoopsies. I think that's good. Let me just check the lower stuff. I think I'm fine with where everything's at. There. 2 dimes and a nickel swear jar. I like it, Gwen. He doesn't swear. Maybe he'll steal it from me and start swearing. Just kidding. That's good. That's good. That's good. All right. Let's see how it comes over. All right, where did I add that? All right, let's get rid of her there. Delete. Yes. Bring her over. Okay, yeah. When we shrink it down, it's going to look really good. So we're going to look like she's walking. Oh, yeah. This is going to look fantastical. I want to be able to see what's behind her, so I don't want her too big. Is that where I want it? Yeah. That looks pretty badass. Now, see, this was the thing I was talking about, the image. You have the cartoon image or the comic book image, and then you have this like detailed image. They don't necessarily fit, but I think it's fine. It's like fan work right here. So, think. She's good. I think everything about this is totally fine. Am I going to add lightning? No, I'm not going to. That'll be a little more difficult if I add the lightning, but I'm just more. I don't know, Gwen, if you were on earlier, I did this one already. So that's the first storm. So that's the first image. I don't think I'll add lightning here. I'm just going to make it seem like she's casting this. I may bring her down a little. No, she's got to stay 100%. She's not see-through. So the only other thing I could see is you got this here. The lightning that's going through her hair from the original image. And what I actually might do here, I'm going to change one thing up. We're going to bring this in. I'm going to bring that lightning in. So it doesn't look like her hair is just highlighted for some odd reason. Now we actually have the lightning bolts. So we're going to get those bolts to come through. That's there. Oh, I could do this too. Let's see. What does it look like? No, I don't want it to get past her hair too much because then it just seems like it disappears. And I could do this. No, definitely going to do that. All right, so let's try this instead. I'm going to delete her now. Bye, Storm. Hi, new Storm. There. Okay, now we have the lightning coming out of her hand. That looks pretty sweet. I'm going to probably do a little fixing of maybe, because I don't think that matters too much. I was going to say I'd fix it, but I think that's just me being picky about it because this almost blends in with the background. So I actually don't think I need to mess with that, but I want to keep the lightning like that. That goes into her hair. I think that looks pretty good. All right, so now got to do like we did on the other one. We are going to combine the two, merge layers. So now it is one layer all together. And now it's time to bring back everything like we did on the first one. So already have it highlighted, which is nice. Bring that in. And of course, we want Storm to be in pretty much all of this. So the top again is going to be the part that gets cut out. Just got to make sure my spacing's right. Spacing looks good. Now let's crop it. Bring that down there. Good. Okay. Now text box. Bring to the... There we go. Now we can see through. And in this one, Storm will be all in front of the text box. We want to give that feel of Storm's in front of that. First, I do want to fix that top again. So we got to stamp this again. Alt, stamp, click again. Oh, I moved my mouse. You don't want to move the mouse. There we go. Back to the text box. Get rid of that. Stamp tool. Big. Boom. Erase that. One thing I did notice, I might want to fix this on the other one too. Let's deselect. I just want to fix that. I'll fix the other one post production. Cow flying into the storm. This isn't Twister. I could do a Twister series of Cyclonic Rift. Another cow. Nope. Same cow. Loved that movie. It was one of my favorites. It's kind of what got me into weather, actually. Was that movie there? Okay, wait. Have an idea. We're going to start with... So I could do all of this. Yep. And I could have her hair stay behind the text box. So let's just see bringing her to the foreground first. So let's get the main stuff here. And it's such a used card. I'm fine with covering what the card does because this is more of an alt art, fan art kind of thing. So we're going to bring her completely to the foreground, but the hair, that might be kind of cool to give a little bit of dimension, having that stay behind the text box instead of just bringing her just completely to the foreground. So I'm just getting all the easy stuff now, and I'll come back and touch up all the other stuff. It's more to look at and see if I really want to keep the hair as behind it and just want to see how this looks. I think that's the route I want to go. So I just want to zoom out and kind of see. Bringing this to that. Yeah, because you can still see her hair through, so that looks kind of cool. Like she's in front and her hair's flowing behind, which that text box is just right behind her. I might have this lightning bolt come through here, but we'll get that after. So we're just going to do Storm. Now we got to get detailed here. So What'd you say? The cost of, yeah, no, I'm fine with cutting off, Gwen, what you were saying there. I'm fine with a card that's heavily used and a card that just hits the battlefield and goes off. I'm totally fine covering stuff like that. If this was a card that you're a permanent that's in play, I'm a little more hesitant to, oops, I'm outside the line there. A little more hesitant to cover up the text and everything because people have to reference it. And if it's not a used card, this one is, everybody knows Cyclonic. If you've played Magic for like a month in Commander, you know what Cyclonic Rift is, because then you've seen it at least 13 times at that point. So, but yeah, you might have been joking with, oh no, I didn't cover the overload. You can still see the overload. It's right there. It's not cut off, Gwen. It's still there. Overload. But yeah, that is my rule. And actually, when I do alt arts, I'll be a little more inclined to cut stuff off too, because then it's already a card that people don't know what it is. So a lot of, by the picture. So you'd be a little more inclined to look it up if you didn't know what it was. But if I had like the Cyclonic Rift, let's just say it was a used card or not a heavily used card, and I'm not using an alt art, most of the time I won't cover that box. And if I do cover the box, I'll make it so you can actually see through it. All right, so this is turning out pretty good. I was gonna say, did my soundtrack all stuff just cut out because I've been talking for so long? I'm fine going a little bit out. Might highlight her shoulder pad there a little bit. 6 generic overload cost. This card just got better because Storm was involved. There we go. I want to get a little bit so we can see. There we go. See that little black I'm getting on there. Oh, that was a little too much. There we go. Let me see. I just want to check it out. Okay. Cool. Other side. I think everything else is filled in there. I'm glad that I figured out a way to get this in, because I did want the old school Storm, because this is the one that I grew up with. I should say it's not even the old school. This is the cartoon Storm, I should say. The Saturday morning cartoon Storm, because this is what I watched. This is how I know Storm. So I was glad that I decided to go with both. Realistically wise, it looks like a comic on top of a nice realistic, well, not realistic, but a very high def image. But I'm fine with it because it's fan art. All right, I think I got almost everything filled in here. Let's see how we get down here. Then after this, I am going to get that lightning bolt. Okay, a little out of the line. I just want to highlight it a little bit. I'm fine with see, I'm getting a little black there because then it's really going to pop that edge. Okay, still going down. Let's get her thumb here too. So it brings a little bit of a highlight to that. I didn't want it on that side. I almost wanted to stay on this side and not the bottom side. Okay, then we come down here. So this one is the one that ends up being the longest video out of the two. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so there's some black coming through there. So let me fix this a little bit. I don't like it jumpy like that, so I'm going to make it the entire thing there. Just a little bit of a highlight. Okay. There. So it looks like that is part of her cape there. Now, let's make sure And I got all the pieces. See, that's why I got to bring it up. So there's a lot of pieces that I got to fill in here. So we're going to bring this a little bigger because we just did our tracing. Oh man, I could almost have that 100% like that. Fixing this side. It's not grabbing it the way I want it. Everything's good there. Okay. Just checking my level. Sometimes I don't have. Okay. Got that. All right. So that looks pretty sweet. So now we just need the lightning to come through. Zoom in. Bring this tool down quite a bit. Here we go. Oh, I want to do this a little different because it doesn't need to be precise. So we're going back to our grainy tool and bringing this down a bit. And oops, I want to zoom out a little bit. I don't need to be as precise here. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go and just start highlighting. And I can bring this probably up a little bit so I can see a little better what I'm doing. Okay. So the bolt comes through there. Let's see how that's turning out. I definitely am going to have it see-through, but I'm just going to have this all highlighted here. So I have some bolts coming like that, like that. Okay. There. Just kind of getting rid of some of those lines there. It doesn't look like I'm doing much, but it is. I'm clicking, double clicking on that. I want to make that a little more even. So see how I have this there? I'm going to continue that on this side. And we're going to do the same on this side. Got it down on the bottom. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. So it gives that bolt almost like a dimension feel, like it came up, it's going backwards, and then going up again there. So okay, that looks pretty sweet. Let's see. I got to go back and do the Cyclonic Rift part. So I think we're going to do a very similar thing that we did in the last one, which is very simple. We're getting this part to come through. So I'm clicking and letting go once I get it, because like I said, it's at 50%. So once I've done it, if I go over it again, then it gets it at that 100%. All right. Then we got a voice crack there. It's live. Can't cut that out. Puberty. It happens. All right. Getting him to the front again. I liked how that looked in the last one. Then we'll get this piece again. So the nice thing is I can remember what I did and what I liked on the other image. Okay. That looks good, good, good. The difference here is the CommanderSmith logo is going to go in a different spot. It's going in Storm Hand. Have a spot for it. Love it when gals have their hands cupped like that, because then I can put balls there. Ah! No, then I can put the CommanderSmith logo perfectly right in there. So we're going to get her front finger to come through. This is going to be resting on this finger here. So this one will come to the front a little bit. So positioning, I want it right about there. Okay. So now I need to see through. And remember, we still have the stamp tool to the background. We need to change this to 100. And get that there. And really zoom in on this. So finger there. There we go. this finger here, so it feels like it's actually sitting in her hand a little bit. Actually, I might have to change that a little bit. We'll see here in a second, because then that doesn't really. We'll just do the top part of the finger to there. Oops. I want to do if I do this, then it doesn't feel like it's actually sitting there. But this finger, if I go up to there, it feels like more of that finger is holding that ball in. So we're going to shave off a little bit of that. So it's like she is holding it. Okay. Dope. All right. I want to bring this up a little bit. I do want her finger to see. I want you to see it through there. Let's get the whole image out. So she's not only holding a CommanderSmith ball, but she's holding, it's like almost like a Pokemon ball. It's bursting with lightning because it's about to open. So, all right. Well, that's it, guys. First live proxy time. I think that worked out pretty good. That is the first one. Where's my second one? Or that is the second one. There is the first one. So I think they both turned out pretty fantastical. So yeah, got to catch them all. That's right. Well, thank you guys for joining. I think I'm going to continue doing the X-Men feel to them. I'm just going to get these images so you can see the two next to each other. So I think next week depends on what do we have? We had Teferi's protection this week. Was that what it was? Yeah. So we did Cyclonic Teferi. So we'll do something with Teferi's. Ideas are very much welcome for X-Men stuff. So I'm going to keep that theme going. So if you're in the Discord, everybody here was on the Discord, but anybody else watching this video, you can shoot a message below for that. So that should do it, guys. I'm Adam Smith from the CommanderSmiths. That was Proxy Time, Cyclonic Rift. I'll catch you guys next week. See ya. Bye. Sega.